Hello and welcome, Craig Forstall, with another 2019 NFL Draft Player Profile. Today we're going to spend a little bit of time analyzing AZEEZ Al Shaair. That is right, AZEEZ Al Shaair, a linebacker from Florida Atlantic University in Boca Raton. Now, the AZEEZ Al Shaair story is phenomenal. He was a lightly recruited kid out of Tampa who blew up on the scene as a true freshman, was named to the All-American team by USA Today, and then followed that up with a couple of all-conference seasons. So he's a 6'2", almost 230-ish pound linebacker who's going to have to fight some small linebacker labels, but he's been highly productive. We can go ahead, we can take a look at his college stats. You can see he flirted with triple-digit tackles as a true freshman, coming up just shy of 8 a game. Sophomore season, you can see that he was going going ahead and contributing just about over 9 tackles a game. As a junior, he was in double digits, so the guy is a tackling machine, always around the ball, tackles for loss, always in the backfield. The dude can play. The senior year was supposed to be the year that he took off, blew up, and became a household name and was one of those deep, small school sleepers. But unfortunately, ACL and MCL injury cut that senior year short. It was a non-contact injury, but however, it did happen during the season, so it's going to greatly impact his visibility this offseason with pro days, workouts, and other things along those lines. But with him being able to put together so much solid film throughout his college career, we can go ahead to that one-eyed monster and we can look at the following games. I went back, I looked at a game from every single one of his seasons. There were 3 games in particular that I really wanted to watch. That was the 2015 Florida, 2017 Wisconsin, 2018 Central Florida, 2016 against FIU. I knew what I really wanted. I knew for me the 3 films that I cared the most about with looking at AZEEZ Al Shaair was 2015 Florida, 2017 Wisconsin, 2018 Central Florida. However, his film is like drugs. It is addicting. You just can't watch one film. It's almost like Pringles. You can't just have one. Once you start, you just can't stop. He is amazing. 2017 Wisconsin, I think, is his best film. I think it's a true representation of him as a linebacker, being able to play in the run game, handle pass responsibilities, his ability to diagnose play, create separation in the run game, get off of a good-sized offensive line, able to handle pro schemes in the run game, in the block concepts. Definitely looked like he belonged in big-time football. 2018 Central Florida, a little bit different, got him out in space. They're a little bit more of that Wild West shootout type spread offense, so you had him running around sideline to sideline, making plays. Again, I think 2017 Wisconsin, 2018 Central Florida are his 2 best films, but you cannot go wrong with any film you pop on with this guy. And now, having watched more than a handful of games, what are my takeaways? My takeaways are this dude is a Vashawn Joseph clone. Go ahead, take a look. There's another Vashawn Joseph video here throughout the rest of the related films. So go ahead, take a look, see what I got to say about him. But he's a Vashawn Joseph clone. The quickness in the first step is unmatched. The ability he has to shoot the gap is near the top of the draft class. And when you put all 3 of those things together, that is something special from the linebacker position. The unmatched quickness in the first step, being able to read the play, get to the ball, initiate contact, and shooting the gap, that is everything that you look for. That is a coach's dream. He's a tackling machine with that long, lean frame, the ability to grow into it. He's the type of player that coaches look at physically and say, we got something here. So he has all of the tools. You couple that with the strong play recognition skills. You saw how involved he was, throughout his seasons with the tackle numbers, tackles for loss. So he's going to get to the ball. He's violent, and when he plays, it is just violent. He goes through you. He plays to the whistle. It is just aggressive. It is just beautiful to watch. And again, highly productive when healthy. He is a phenomenal linebacker. The pure athletic ability that he has and his ability to diagnose plays and to pop on film and to look like a man amongst boys is remarkable. To put it in perspective, if you were to go back to the Little League World Series for however many years ago, Danny Almonte was a pitcher from the Bronx who was just lighting guys up, just bringing serious heat. Ends up that he was actually a couple years older than the allowed age, and that's why he was dominating. Azeez Al Shaair is kind of like that Danny Almonte of small school football. He's coming from FAU, playing down in Conference USA. It's not one of these Power Five conferences. It's good football, but nonetheless, it's still going to get that small school label. And he dominated that competition. He looked like the best player, head and shoulders above the rest of the guys out on the field. And now if you're looking for a feel-good story, something that you want to root for in this year's draft class, when Azeez was 15, there was a fire that left him and his family homeless for a period of time, and in the process of that, AZEEZ Al Shaair actually went back into the home to make sure that his siblings were okay and do what he needed to do to make sure everyone got out of the house in the fire safe and sound. So I'll let you go ahead. I'll let you Google him. I'll let you take a look at that story, read it for yourself. It's phenomenal. But just remember, if there's things that I love, there's also some things on the one-eyed monster that point out some concerns. It's the injury concerns. The 2018 ACL, it was a non-contact injury. He did have Tommy John surgery. Yes, the same exact surgery that you're familiar with baseball pitchers. So you start checking those boxes. Now there's an injury history. Now there's some injury concerns. Is he going to be able to withstand NFL punishment? Because he's had the knee surgery, he's had the arm surgery. So now we're starting to question if he's held together by glue, rubber band, and paper clips. So couple that with a smallish frame, a long, lean frame, it could start to bring some durability questions. But when he is healthy, he's highly productive. Don't worry about him being smallish for the linebacker position. Is he a 4-3 outside linebacker? Is he a 3-4 inside linebacker? I personally think he's a 3-4 inside. I think that you just get more versatility out of his skill set from a 3-4 inside. Being able to play him on the weak side of the defense from a 3-4 position at the inside linebacker, playing weak inside linebacker, I think would be just a match made in heaven for him in a 3-4 team. But that's just me. What does that mean overall? It means the final verdict is this. He is that dude. He is the special sleeper in this draft. He has a combination of vision, speed, athleticism that allow him to diagnose plays quickly, and he has moments where he single-handedly takes over games at the Division I level. He's a linebacker that can be moved all over the field because of the quickness, because of the first step, the ability to shoot gaps. He is a phenomenal jackknifer. He's able to get through blocks. He possesses all of the athletic traits to run with running backs and tight ends and should be able to handle those responsibilities in the pass game. I know we've talked about that smaller frame, but his pad level is phenomenal. And the old saying is low man wins, and he is the low man 9 times out of 10. That allows him to generate a tremendous amount of explosion, which leads to that violent, fast nature play style that he has. I feel like there are a couple of teams that could greatly impact from AZEEZ Al Shaair immediately, 2 of them being Green Bay and Los Angeles. The Packers have long been looking for a defensive identity. I think them getting younger, a little bit more rangier, and athletic at the linebacker position is just kind of where they need to go, given the running back situation in the North. Detroit with Kerryon Johnson, Minnesota with Dalvin Cook, and then the Bears with their combination of Tariq Cohen and Jordan Howard, you definitely need a linebacker like this that's going to be able to stay on the field and keep up with those athletic combinations and packages that those teams will roll out. The Rams are playing Mark Barron at inside linebacker. I feel like their linebacker depth's a little bit weak. Defense has come on strong as of late. Defense has been a little bit of an Achilles heel for them. I feel like that's something that they're going to address. I feel like AZEEZ Al Shaair gives them tremendous value late round where he's able to come in and contribute. The Falcons have made a living off of fast athletic linebackers past couple of drafts. They've gone to LSU for Deion Jones, Duke Riley. They ventured up to Minnesota, got Devondre Campbell. So they're fascinated by the athletic linebacker. So definitely, if they hold true to that theory, AZEEZ might be a target of theirs. And then finally, the Dallas Cowboys. Sean Lee's always hurt. They did draft Jalen Smith a couple of years ago. The NFC East is in a little bit of disarray. I know that the Cowboys and the Eagles made the playoffs, but Washington's got injury concerns at quarterback. Darius Geis is going to be coming back from an ACL injury. Chris Thompson can't stay healthy. Adrian Peterson's old. Jordan Reed is always hurt. Vernon Davis has been in the league for about 45 years. So there's a lot of questions in Washington. The Eagles, who's their quarterback? Wentz, Foles, what are they going to do at running back? The defense, they got some turnover that's going to be coming their way. They're not sure what they're going to do with Chris Long. And then you got the Giants. The Giants have Saquon, and that's about it. So with Dallas getting more athletic at linebacker and defensively, it sets them up for success in today's NFL, regardless of how they move forward this offseason. By adding AZEEZ Al Shaair, it sets them up defensively because they're going to be tying up a lot of money offensively, so they're going to have to start moving to the draft to start building that defense because you're looking at DeMarcus Lawrence, you're looking at, on the defensive side of the ball, having to get some money, but offensively, Amari Cooper, Zeke, and Dak are all going to be up for contracts, so they're going to have to open up that checkbook a little bit. So hitting on a guy late with a contract that's friendly for the team cap is definitely something that you need to find and you need to do. So what does that all mean? It all means that when we're looking at him for a draft grade and a draft position, early for him, I think, is mid to late 5. You're looking at 150, 160 overall. There is a strong possibility that AZEEZ Al Shaair does go undrafted simply due to the injury that he suffered this year in his senior year, limiting his offseason participation, not allowing him a chance to play in the Senior Bowl or any of those other postseason all-star games. I think most likely he's a round 6 guy, anywhere in round 6. I think as you start getting into Brady territory, the 190s, 199 is probably the most likely area that you'll hear him, but 180 to 190 should be his wheelhouse. He's definitely going to be going there. I think is more than fair value. I think if you draft AZEEZ Al Shaair, if you put him in a 3-4, I think what you need to automatically think about is Wesley Woodard. I think that's a pretty good pro comparison. If you look at their build, skill set, different things like that, I think that's what he translates to. Worst case scenario, Jeremy Cash. Jeremy Cash was a safety linebacker hybrid. And in college, they moved him full-time linebacker in the NFL. He's bounced around special teams, practice squads, provided a little bit of linebacker depth for a handful of teams in his short career. So best case scenario, you get a guy that's a solid NFL player, going to start for more than a handful of years and be a defensive leader and really one of the faces in that locker room that your defense can lean on. Best case scenario being like a Wesley Woodard. Worst case scenario, you get a guy that provides extreme depth, crazy athleticism, will contribute on all specials, and that with the right coaching and the right system could develop into a part-time starter should you ever need that. So I'll go ahead, I'll put a couple of the sources up here, let you know where I got my information on AZEEZ Al Shaair. Again, he's the special sleeper in this year's 2019 NFL Draft. Crazy talent, super productive, always around the ball. Had over 300 tackles in 3 years, had 146 tackles as a junior. Senior year was cut short by the knee injury from FAU. Small school, going to have to shake those labels, and it'll be interesting to see how he's able to impact his draft stock given that injury. Definitely a name that you need to be aware of. AZEEZ Al Shaair, Florida Atlantic University linebacker. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll be back again with another 2019 NFL Draft Player Profile in just a short period of time.